A legendary Tiki hotel was stripped bare and the treasures vanished. Now, several years later, they've been found tucked away in a storage locker. Massive carvings, lost decor, and one piece that I need to see for myself. I'm heading south to San Diego to try to claim it before it's gone again. This all started with a hotel built in 1959, but it officially opened its doors in 1966 as a Polynesian-themed escape, right in the middle of Mission Valley in San Diego. It had everything. A-frames, hanging fish floats, giant tiki carvings, clamshell waterfalls. It was the perfect mid-century transportative resort that made you feel like you've left the mainland without ever leaving San Diego. Then, in 1978, something wild happened. The Luau in Beverly Hills, one of the most iconic tiki bars in the world, closed. But instead of throwing out all of that incredible decor, they shipped it all down to San Diego, and it ended up at the Hanalei Hotel. Now I'm talking about rivers running through the restaurant, walls of lava rock, clamshell fountains, and the kind of carvings that defined the golden age of tiki. And for a while, the place was basically one of the crown jewels of escapist tiki design. Then, things changed. Tiki Oasis started happening there, this massive event that celebrates everything tiki. And just as the community started showing up in droves, the hotel, now at Crowne Plaza, decided to start stripping all of it away. Man, they got rid of the rivers, they ripped out the lava rock, they turned it into a bland, beige conference hotel. Like, it honestly blows my mind. It's like they had a Mona Lisa on the wall and they decided to hang a stock photo instead. But even after that, there were still traces of what once was. Out in the courtyard, there was an atrium. And in that atrium were these towering carvings that originally lived at the Beverly Hills Luau. Then came the pandemic. The hotel shut down. First it became a homeless shelter, then a migrant shelter, and eventually it was sold again. And the new owners, they decided to finish the job, to remove every last remnant of the tiki past. That's when the tiki community's ears perked up, because somebody had to save the stuff. And we were all like, how do I get some of that stuff? But luckily, my friend, Master Carver Buzzy, was the guy to do it. He led the charge and was able to retrieve a ton of the original decor before it was gone forever. And now, he's auctioning it all off. And I'll be honest, the prices are way more reasonable than some of the wild stuff that we've seen at recent tiki auctions. So, when I saw what was being offered, I didn't even think. I grabbed my keys, I hit the road, and I drove to San Diego in the middle of the night. And I came back with 2 incredible Janus poles. But now, one of those carvings, one that stood in the luau at Beverly Hills, and then lived at the Hanalei Hotel for decades, has come up for auction. So I gotta go to San Diego. Again. If you've been around tiki for as long as I have, there are certain tikis that you've seen out in the wild that still exist that you dream about owning someday. And now I have that opportunity. So join me as we travel to San Diego to make an offer on something that I never thought I'd be able to own.
You can get a drop over set. So this is from the luau.
Dude, look at that. That's so iconic too, because that was right in like the waterfall area.
Yes.
Of the lobby.
Yep.
Or
sure
like
was.
the hallway.
Yeah, it was up on the rock wall.
Yeah.
In the lobby, so a lot of people took that as a centerpiece of their pictures when they were at Oasis.
Absolutely. And it's like in your front hallway. It's gotta blow your mind. I mean, it blows my mind. So rad.
Yeah, like I said, because you're so used to seeing it in the other setting. Then when you see it in a familiar setting, it's kind of like, wow, this is unsettling because it doesn't quite match what I'm used to.
Have there been offers made on that?
Yeah, sure have.
Okay, good. I hope it goes to somewhere public so we can see it some more.
That's my hope is.
Yeah. But regardless, as long as it's still alive.
Either that or somebody throws a lot of parties with a lot of people that come over. That was the other one. If you're like, you know, the man about town and you got a big friend base that comes over all the time, then yeah, that'd be a lot better for people to see it. We just don't want it tucked away and nobody ever wonder where it is. It'd be nice if you're looking at a Facebook or something, and go, oh, hey, that's who got that tiki, and they're having a party.
Or a YouTube channel.
Or anyway. Yeah, exactly.
Very cool and super legendary, but this was not the tiki that I was here for.
These are the ones that are coming up this week for sale. Probably by the time you edit, though, those will be sold.
Okay.
So these are we're releasing them, kind of ending the sale window about every 2 weeks on 4 or 5 items, just because I don't want to be overwhelmed taking bids on 100 items all in the same day. So stretching this out.
So if people aren't following you on Facebook or anything, how would people find like what's coming up next?
Just email me if you're interested.
Really?
Yeah, and then I'll guide you through it. I'll send you a link of the catalog.
Okay, yeah, the catalog's great.
Oh, I'll show you, if you want to get the catalog up on here.
Oh, right. Oh, killer.
So we got the catalog. If you want to order a hard copy of this, it's on my Etsy store. But if you just want all the information, then I can either email you the PDF or you can find it on my Facebook feed.
Wow.
But this is basically every item that we have for sale from the whole collection. And it's all numbered. So what you do is if you're interested in an item, you'll just send me the number, the title, and what your bid on is. These aren't fixed prices by any means. We're just guessing what they might be worth. So that'll help you because a lot of people don't know what to bid. So hey, if you try this, you'll probably be okay.
Oh, okay. Cool. That's good to know.
Here's a souvenir refrigerator magnet for you.
Oh, thank you. Also available on your Etsy store, right?
Probably not that one right now.
Oh, sorry.
Maybe
folks.
Janus bowls.
Wow.
Those are the two best ones that I think we found.
Yeah.
And we have pictures of those actually when they were in the most recent configuration of the Islands restaurant. And I don't know where they came from before that.
Yeah,
presumably it's hard to tell.
There's no horizontal pull divots or whatever.
Yeah, those are perfect.
Yeah.
These I think at one point, they were stacked because they got the nails on here. So it's either a piece of bamboo was coming off the top of it originally.
Oh, okay.
I think you posted that postcard the last time you were here. They showed all of these poles, kind of how they were at the Hanalei. So I think after they cut those down, they just had a couple left. They stuck those on the wall.
Yeah.
Kind of in the corner. But fortunately, they weren't damaged or cut out or anything. And they had a really nice paint job.
And those are everything's for sale, right?
Yeah, everything's for sale. Yeah.
Sheesh. That's insane. Wow.
So here for scale.
Yeah.
And I'm a giant, as you know.
I'm
usually when I go up to people, I'm like patting them on top of the head. You know, so you can imagine how big these are compared to me.
Were they originally by Leroy? Do you think? Doesn't really look like his style.
Doubtful.
Yeah.
They're in that same style as all the other Tiki stuff. So I think it was whoever drew up all the Janus poles and all that. Whoever that designer was.
Oh, okay.
That would have been. I can't off the top of my head. I can't think of the architects.
So maybe just a designer, huh?
Yeah, the designer architect firm.
Incredible, though.
Like I said, those are kind of the sleepers. Just can't really tell how cool they are until you see how big they are.
Well, I didn't realize that they stacked like that. When I saw them in your living room, I was like, oh, those are cool. But when you see them like that, it's like...
I thought that they were individuals. And then all of a sudden, when I saw that picture of the luau one, I went, oh, wait.
Yeah.
That's that piece, and it's sitting on top of a piece that looks just like that. And,
wow.
I went, wow. So all of a sudden, it went from like, oh, there's 4 individual pieces to like, this should probably kept together. Hey,
buddy.
Well, then this is just a sampling. Some of the other stuff. All this is basically catalog stuff.
Yeah.
And a lot of these that went to the islands, they have this sticker on it that says Ohana with a number on it. And so I think that was when they originally ordered them all in the pieces. They said, okay, what pieces did they want? We'll put a sticker on them, put them in a curly. But I think it's amazing that, how many years ago was that you got the sticker on it? So that's probably 1980 right there.
Oh, okay. Tell me about this thing.
It's Papua New Guinea, however you pronounce that.
Okay.
But when I post that one later on for sale, I think I found the original source reference in one of my Oceanic Arts books for that one.
Mm-hmm.
And it was pretty close to spot on a copy of that one.
Okay.
But I believe that was Oceanic Arts piece, and that's just what they made at the time.
Yeah.
This would have been stuff that if you would have went in the 60s, they would have had on the wall.
Okay.
And that's just what they had and what you would have bought then. And so since the luau and the Hanalei were being built at the same time frame in the early 60s, they probably ordered the stuff the same week. So it was half of them went here, half of them went there.
Amazing. And then what about these pieces here?
A couple Maori carvings. They had about 9 of them at the Hanalei. I never saw them in any of the pictures at the luau, but this one is on the postcard of the luau. The only difference is when you look at the postcard closely, it looks like they had more of this red paint over the top. And I think based on what some of these are is when they were cleaning them over the years, some of the paint got rubbed off because it would have been, if they finished like this, they painted over it. So, and the person was wiping up here, It wiped off the red that went all the way to the top there.
Oh, I see. And taking offers on all this stuff.
Taking offers on everything. Just send me an email.
Amazing.
They're more than free.
It is pretty wild to see a lot of these things that we used to see in the hotel, and they are literally in Buzzy's living room. Dude, look at that. These paddles are so iconic for Oceanic Arts. And then this dude right here with the long snoot. What's the story with this guy?
That was from the luau. I sit in like a Travelways magazine in the background of two people sitting, being served by a waiter at the restaurant.
Wow.
And you could see the top of his head here.
Yeah.
And then there's a bunch of pictures of it, in situation.
And then there's so many other things that are just kind of like laying around. Like, well, so these are more of what we saw outside, right?
Yes. These are pieces of them. There's two that are in pretty good shape.
And they're all stackable, right?
Yeah, but these were kind of broken when they came off.
Oh, okay.
So like 4 of these pieces actually make a full round 360 degree when you glue them all back together. So that's what I'm planning on doing. And then I believe this one's in great shape, but it's split down the side. But if you glue it, I'll still have 2 perfect bottom pieces.
Okay.
And then these were, I told you they're cutting things, cutting them and just kind of fitting them together however they could. So there's no heads for these guys. I think they cut the heads off and they had to stack it up to the ceiling. So they just used that base.
Oh, okay.
So I got 2 body pieces. I was thinking of maybe just copying a head off of and making a hybrid.
Okay.
So you can have the 1960s body and the 2025, hack cover version of it.
Totally. Well, I think it's time. Can we see your garage?
Oh yeah, let's go out in the garage and I'll show you the other pieces.
Okay.
These are the nice ones.
Yeah, the moment that I've been waiting for.
You just step around behind me and step around the doors. It's hard to get in.
Oh, oops. Let me just move my false idol menu from my favorite tiki bar in all of San Diego.
What in the world?
Oh, oops. I got these reef stuff lying around, too. Doug Horn art. This is the trim. This was the piece that they brought from the luau and put next to the front door as you walked in after they did the islands in 1980. So it was right to the right of the doors with those brass tiki handles on them. Mm-hmm. And there was a railing that was sticking out of these right here. So there's railing leading up to the front door. And then there was the Janus poles that line the walkway. There's probably a good dozen of them on each side holding up a roof.
Wow.
Oceanic Arts carved trim. These were in the Islands restaurant. And this is kind of stock Oceanic Arts trim.
Is it broken or?
It used to be these were outside.
Oh.
There's still a few left outside of the restaurant now, but it basically would have been probably one of these will fit together in there.
Like trimming out a door or something?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
So it's probably, that was probably it right there.
Yeah, okay.
And then this, there was an A-frame entrance with a shield wall behind it originally at the Hanalei. Mm-hmm. This was a piece from that.
What happened to all the stuff that was in the coffee shop that was all like Asian?
I have no idea.
Because there was like a dragon door and stuff.
Oh yeah. I don't know. I didn't pay attention to that.
Oh man.
I was fixated on this.
Well, yeah. me too. I just wonder about all that stuff.
It's probably at some maintenance worker's garage or his cousin's house or something.
Totally.
Sitting there. Oh, someday I'll put this up in my room.
Oh my god.
Deal somewhere.
Okay. What about the cannibal pole that I want to buy?
It's right over here.
Okay, I'll follow you.
All right.
Inside his garage, we uncovered some of the most legendary tiki treasures that I've ever lusted after. I photographed this very pole back when they were at the hotel. I'd look at them and I'd dream about owning one of these, like one day. And was today seriously the day?
So explain to me how these things work. We're looking at poles by George Nakashima, right?
Yes.
And so is the top figure of each one a different cannibal trio like pose?
You know what? I haven't even looked at them. This is the first time I'm actually seeing them.
Because there's a bunch of guys chomping.
Okay, it just occurred to me that you might not know anything about the cannibal trio. So here's a quick little dissertation on the cannibal trio. The first time that we see the cannibal trio in Tiki is on the back bar of the original Don the Beachcomber in Hollywood, California in the 1930s. Don loved them so much that they show up again in photos of his Encino home, sitting on one of his shelves, and the cannibals also show up at the Chicago location of Don the Beachcomber as a support pole. Now there are 3 distinct carvings that make up the cannibal trio: the catcher, the chomper, and the ingester. So the catcher catches his prey, the chomper chomps on his prey, and then the ingester is rubbing his belly because he's all full from his meal. But I recently learned that the Mai Kai changes up the order, which gives a new perception to each character. When they had them affixed to their front door and on their menu and on their coasters, the Mai Kai has the ingester first, which could be read as a pregnant woman. Yeah, this is gonna get bad. Then the catcher could be read as delivering a baby. And then tragically, the chomper, the chomper is consuming the baby. Ugh. But Stephen Crane, who was the owner of the luau, absolutely loved the lore of the cannibal trio. He used it in his marketing on the matchbooks for his luau, as well as for his chain of the Tiki restaurants. And that is the reason why we are looking at this pile of poles today. They all came out of Stephen Crane's luau. Now there's only one complete stack of the cannibal trio that includes the chomper, the ingester, and the catcher. But that one is so rare and so one of a kind that there's no possible way that I could afford that one.
Yeah, you got the eater, the catcher,
And then there's
eater,
a catcher there.
catcher, eater, and the catcher. So it looks like you got
So it's like two styles, right?
two styles for the top.
Right.
And the bottoms are probably just a mix because all of these were modular, I guess, for lack of better words. These
Yeah.
are cut and stuck together.
Oh, okay. What year do we think?
These are probably from the luau, which has been like 60. They got moved over to the Hanalei in like I can't remember the exact date, like 1980, I believe. Early 80. Was
This one definitely was at the luau.
Yeah.
Yeah.
This is like kind of the...
And originally it was glossy, like it was
right.
really like it wasn't colored at all. This is the one I would strip, maybe stain a little bit, and then just gloss the heck out of it. It'd be amazing.
Probably
Totally.
just paint it, you know?
Yeah.
If I got one of these, I'd probably just paint it back to the brown.
You would?
Well,
These guys.
I don't know. It's not mine.
These
but
guys look good though.
That'd be
they're
my
not
first
bad.
instinct.
I know. They're not like full clown. They're,
Yeah.
you know,
Yeah, I think they look great.
yeah.
What you'll want to look for, Matt, is when you pick one out, is like this one still has the. I think there's two that had that bottom still stuck in there. You could probably like pry it out. We just didn't.
See, and this is really well painted. See this?
Mm-hmm.
Like it's painted, but it's really good, right?
Yeah. Yeah, that's a really good one. That's kind of the one that stuck out to me also.
Like this looks excellent. Right?
Yeah, I think I do like this one.
Yeah.
And then on the back, I think there's another face, right?
There's faces on the bottoms, not on the top.
Right. Yeah, at first glance, man,
Yeah, I would go for that.
that's the one.
Yeah.
So it looks like a kind of a full guy down at the bottom, and then a catcher right here. There's a chomper guy, and then another catcher. It's just too bad that they're not all three, you know, like the chomper, the catcher, and the
Yeah. They're all done in pieces. It was just how they cut them up and where they put them. I got a picture where they took one of these extra guys and they just stuck it up on the roof, completely randomly. But they had them, so what are they going to do?
Yeah, totally. Who do we think carved that guy?
We don't know because that was kind of a standard kind of stock piece.
It's almost Milan Guanco, kind
It
of.
looks like it's Guanco, but I think it's either Chrisman or Leroy.
Oh, okay.
Chrisman did a more simplified, rougher version of it that's attributed, I think, in the Oceanic Arts book.
Mm-hmm.
Anyway, there's a couple different variations of differing quality and wood types. So
And you're still taking offers on all these things?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yep.
And then this one is just like mind-blowing to me because I've taken so many pinup photos in front of this guy, and you're still taking offers on this guy, right?
Yep. Yeah. Offers on everything.
Okay. You know anything about the style?
New Ireland.
Oh, okay. It's not Ireland.
No, not that island. The New Ireland.
Oh, the new
The
Ireland.
colony of Ireland.
Okay.
Okay, so the tiki that I'm interested in used to live in this hut. When they arrived from the luau in Beverly Hills, they were all unpainted. Over the years, they added paint to them, a hallmark of the tiki de-evolution that we saw through the decades. Another striking example of that is Sam's Seafood in Sunset Beach. But possibly the most iconic part about the atrium at the Crowne Plaza Hotel was this massive coup. But the only photos that I could find that I took of that thing happened to include several of my ex-girlfriends. I guess I was like, I don't know, go stand over in front of that thing. But where did that iconic tiki end up, you might ask? Thankfully, it now resides at the downright incredible False Idol in San Diego.
But I think that the palette that they chose for this was the Orchids of Hawaii fiberglass tiki.
Oh.
Because if you look at the paint compared to the one that I have at my house, every single color on the palette is represented on the orchids piece.
Okay.
So I think what they did was they had the orchids piece on site and said, hey, we got to paint these tikis, you know, spruce them up a little bit. And they pointed to that one and goes, oh, let's just get it to match these. And that's how I think that it wasn't the grandfather of all clown tikis, but is the grandfather of the Hanalei's clown tikis.
Yeah, totally.
The orchids piece. All right, so we're at, no, it's actually not 7.5. It's 83, which is one shy of 7.
I think that's what you told me.
I ran it off of the, I think I was confusing it with that other 7.5. Wow, fancy.
All right, moment of truth.
So 7's right there. We could get that seat, or we could,
Oh, okay. All right, it'll fit.
yeah.
It doesn't go any further. Oh, okay, there you go.
A blanket on top of it.
Yeah.
I can feel the center of gravity myself.
Oh, gotcha.
I know where we're at.
Got it.
Till I ask for help. That should be okay.
Good. That's good.
We got any?
Yeah,
Six
you're,
more
that's
hits. Okay, we're in.
You sure in the middle, or?
Yeah. Just make sure it closes. So grab the camera real quick.
Okay.
Yep.
Fits?
Oh, sweet.
This is one of those moments that I'm just like, I get that feeling where my heart's kind of pounding. I was able to purchase something that I never thought I'd be able to purchase. It's maybe one of the holy grails of my tiki collecting. It was originally from the Luau in Beverly Hills that my mom used to go to. So like there's that connection. There's the connection of it being at Tiki Oasis, at the Hanalei Hotel all those years. I cannot tell you how many times I photographed this just because once I made the connection that it was a cannibal tiki, I took so many photos of this over the years, and now it is literally coming with me back north to Costa Mesa, back to the Breezeway. I am beside myself. So I want to thank Buzzy and his partner in this, Cam, for hooking me up. All of that stuff is still available, so make offers on it now. It's a once in a lifetime opportunity. I'm speechless. Oh my God. Dude. I think it's gonna go right here. But, oh my God. It's so heavy. I'm gonna have to cut off this metal thing first. That was the way that they mounted it at the hotel. So, oh man. Okay. I can't believe I have a Headhunter Cannibal Tiki. Unreal.